Hello and welcome back to Sorare Assist. Adam here, and today I'm going to be going through some scouting on Sorare Fantasy Football. If you like this video, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're not signed up to Sorare yet, sign up using the link below and you'll get a free limited card, and you also get to draft your common teams as well. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter and check out my website sorareassist.com. You can also support this content going forward now guys for just 99p by clicking that join button below and becoming a member. Okay then, let's get on with today's scouting. So I've got some scouting from the Belgian Pro League today guys, so let's get stuck in with the first player I've gone for. The first player I've gone for is Rob Schoffs of Mechelen. Now he has been in and out with injuries this season. He's also had his suspension issues as well. He's been sent off a couple of times I believe. But he's still a fantastic option on Sorare guys, and he's going at a really good price at the moment. He's only 29 as well. He's got a contract till 2024 with Mechelen. I think he's regarded as the captain as well for them, so he's definitely a good pickup in midfield. So looking at the stats then, as I say, it's not been the best season for him. He has been a little bit out of form, it has to be said, but he has had his injury issues and he's also had some disciplinary issues as well. As you can see, he has had one red card in the last 29 games. But in the last game, he showed what he is capable of with an all-round score of 60.6, a 100 score and 2 goals and an assist.
Vooraleer dat hij weer interlandse natuurlijk, dat is het probleem. Wals met heel veel ruimte, kiest hij er ook een goeie uit. Bijvoorbeeld Schoffs. Oh, mooie goal, mooie goal. Ja, hij heeft ook gewoon een mooie linker en hij heeft een patent op mooie goals.
Om die bal weg te werken, maar Mechelen blijft even komen.
Hermans,
ja. Goeie bal, ja.
En is deze ook binnen, dus geen buitenspel. 1-2 voor KV Mechelen.
And he also got an assist in this game as well. Now, like I say, he's had a bit of an on-off season. Injury spell here. He also had some time on the sidelines with this red card as well. So it wasn't the best period for him. And some games he has been a little bit quieter. But generally, he is capable of these really good scores, guys. And he's capable of the peak scores as well. If we look at all of his scores while he's been at Mechelen, we can see a really good graph here of a really good player who's capable of getting plenty of 100 scores. So I don't know what's been happening with him in this period, maybe being a little bit out of form, but generally, as you can see, he is capable of getting the 70s and 80 scores. This season for Mechelen, he started 25 games, 7 goals still and 4 assists. So that's an absolutely fantastic output there. 2.1 shots per game. As you can see, he's also taking corners for Mechelen as well. So let's see if he can improve his form next season, but I think he's definitely looking a good player. Now, Mechelen are 13, so they've not got any games left unfortunately in the current campaign, but they will obviously be back next season in the Belgian Pro League. So I think Schoffs is looking a decent price at the moment, really cheap and is limited as well, for someone who's capable of getting these 100 scores, so he's looking ridiculously cheap to me. Next up we have Hans Vanaken. Now if you've been on Sorare for quite a while, you'll know all about this guy. Considered a Sorare god, I would say, in midfield. The previous GOAT of Sorare, and he's still certainly got the capabilities as well, as you can see from his averages. He's still only 30 and he's got a really long contract with Club Brugge till 2027. And his prices for his cards are looking ridiculously cheap to me as well. £18 for his limited is looking a real steal, and even his rare card is also looking good for someone who's got long contracts. So there's quite a lot of seasons left in Hans Vanaken yet. And we can see from his scores as well that he's got some decent, consistent scores as well. Good AA as well, really, 14. If we look at all his scores, we can see he was previously on even better form than he is currently. And I can't see why he can't get back to that. He is only 30 as well, of course, so we'll see what happens. But he's certainly a good player anyway, based on the current statistics. Did score in this last game as well in a 7-0 win against UPenn. Let's have a quick look at that goal.
Overleggen, uit het pak halen.
Ja, nu lang. Meijer. Jorn Meijer. Eén verkeerde en de kopbal en de goal. 3-0. Hans van Aken. Ja, Club Brugge.
So a nice little header there from Hans Vanaken. And just look at some of these scores. Some really decent scores here. 60s, 70s. All sorts of scores that we're liking to see. And he's also in and around the Belgium squad, as you can see here, in some internationals from June. So yeah, he's definitely a good choice and looking cheap at the moment. This season he's started 34 games, 10 goals and also 5 assists as well to his name. 1.8 shots per game, pass average is looking fantastic. 51 accurate passes per game. Not only that, he's averaging 1.7 key passes per game as well. So he's creating plenty of chances for his teammates. And he's certainly one that I've got my eye on. Is definitely a really good player on Sorare still. Still one of the best, I would say. So next up we've got Isaac Mbemza of Sporting Charleroi. This guy is 27 and he has got a contract with Charleroi until June 2024 as per the transfer market. He's a forward as well on Sorare, looking really cheap at the moment actually, but he has been showing an increased form here in these last few games, as you can see here. Now that is attributed to the fact that he's been playing on the left of midfield and as an attacking midfielder in the last game for Charleroi. Previously he was mostly deployed as a striker, and as you can see this has affected his scores. But recently he has been playing in that left midfield position, so this seems to have really improved his AA score and also increased his scores as well. So maybe this is something that we can keep an eye on. But judging by his last few scores in this position, he's looking a really good pick here potentially. 13 AA, 57 decisive average. He also scored in this last game as well against Genk.
Misschien een mogelijkheid voor Charleroi. Het gaat goed op en neer in deze beginfase. En daar is de gelijkmaker. We zijn 2 minuten 30 bezig en er is al 2 keer gescoord. Isaac.
Now this season for Sporting Charleroi is started 24 games, played an average of 65 minutes. Scored 4 goals and also got 7 assists, which is looking really good actually. His pass numbers are not that great, but if we look at these last few games where he has been playing in this left midfield position. So this game here, he started 90 minutes here. Scored in this game 33 accurate passes, which is looking good. 1 shot on, 2 shots off. And in this game against Standard Liège, which was a loss for them, but he still played well here with an assist. 27 accurate passes. Pass accuracy is not looking that great, but still quite a good accurate pass score. And he's got 1 key pass here and 4 shots on goal here in this game as well. This game against Genk 2-2, he got a goal and an assist. So again, he was involved in both goals in this game. 3 on target and 1 off. Again, decent passing numbers for an attacking player. So he's looking at a pretty good option if he can keep this place here on the left of midfield, or even playing in this attacking midfield role here as he did against Genk. Previously he has played up front, as we can see here, but it seems to be more favoured to be playing on the left or in an attacking midfield role. So it's certainly one to keep an eye on for maybe next season if he does continue these good scores in that different position there. Now if we look at the table, Charleroi have now finished their season. As you can see, they've finished now. So they're not in any qualifying rounds or championship rounds there. And they're not in the relegation zone as well. So their season is over now. But it might be one to consider in the next season potentially. It's looking really cheap at the moment. So the next player I've gone for is Hugo Souquet, a very young player. It's only 20. He plays for Cercle Bruges at the moment. His contract is expiring at the end of the current season though. So whether he will get a move to a bigger club is potentially an option here. As I say, he's only 20, he's a defender on the platform, looking fairly good price as well at the moment for a defender. And as you can see from his scores, he's been getting some consistent minutes recently for Cercle Bruges towards the end of the season. Previous to that, he was either out or not in the squad. He must have been injured potentially, but he was in and out of the squad, not really playing. But as you can see, he's come back and has actually been playing on the right midfield according to Sorare data and getting some really good AA scores here, guys, and he's chipping in with some goals and assists, including a goal in the last game as well against Zulte.
Let er op zijn zak op. De man zit er weer tussen. Bo in de grote baklijn. Bo en dan de voet van de Rijk. Afvallende bal van het Zieke. En het is Sorare 0-1 voor Cercle Brugge. Dik 5 minuten aan het spelen.
So I think this form is looking really good and probably attributed to him getting a good run in the team. So certainly looking a decent option here for a 20-year-old who could potentially get another move to a different club here, maybe a higher caliber club. But there is something else to note here, guys. He's actually on loan from Freiburg, who of course play in the German Bundesliga, and they're actually doing really well this season as well, Freiburg. So whether there's going to be a place in the team for Hugo Souquet is something that's probably not going to be likely. But you never know, he might get his chance in the German league. But I would say his best thing for him would be to maybe get another loan move somewhere else, like the Belgium league again perhaps. that's really going to help his scores on Sorare as well. So we can see that he's taking corners as well for Cercle Bruges in the few games that he's played. Started 14 games this season, 2 goals and also 2 assists as well. His pass numbers are not that good, so that could probably improve, but he's getting plenty of key passes per game at 2.9, which is really promising. He's also chipping in defensively as well with 1.4 interceptions and 2.2 tackles. So he's looking a real talent, this guy. We can see from the graph here on the surface score ratings that he is improving his form, and that's due to getting those minutes under his belt. So he has really been on form recently for them. He's also a Belgium under-21 international as well, so it's certainly a bright one for the future. Definitely one to consider then, guys. Potentially looking good. Now he's getting consistent minutes. He's showing the good numbers here that we like to see on Sorare, so definitely worth a mention here. Next up, we have Julian Desart of Ghent. A 28-year-old midfielder for them. He's really come on towards the end of this season. Looking a really good option there for your Ghent stacks. He's got a long contract with Ghent as well till 2026. Prices are also looking favourable, especially for a midfielder at the top team. We can see here that he's showing some absolutely fantastic scores. Not only that, he's also showing a fantastic AA with 18.2 on average. So he's looking a really good option, guys. Just look at these numbers and statistics. AA is looking absolutely fantastic. So most of these scores have come from AA alone. He's not really got that many goals or assists. And even when he's getting booked, he's still getting a decent score. So this guy is looking a really good pickup, guys. As you can see, he's a consistent, ever-present player in the team now. And with Sven Combs due to hang up his boots potentially, then Desart is definitely going to be a show starter in that Ghent midfield. So let's have a look then. So guys, this season he's started 16 games, 21 appearances in total, played an average of 69 minutes. 2 goals. Like I say, he's not really scored that many goals this season, but he is all about the defensive actions and the duels won, that sort of thing, which we'll come on to in a minute. But his passing is looking good as well. 35 accurate passes per game, 1.8 interceptions per game, 2.9 tackles and 1 clearance per game. Is looking really good, and his total duels won is 63% and is winning 7.1 duels per game, and that's duels won, guys. So that is really what's racking up his points. So I think he's looking a fantastic pick here, guys, on Sorare. And one that I'll potentially pick up because I do have a few Ghent players. So I'll be maybe picking him up to add to the rest of my Ghent players. And also, Ghent are 5th in the league, guys. So that means they're going to be playing some extra games to get that European qualification, guys. So they have got some utility still for Julian Desart till the end of the season. Speaking of the league table, let's have a quick look at the Belgium league table then. So this is the final league table, guys. Ghent finished top in the end, closely followed by St. Gilles. Actually, it was quite tight. The goal difference was the difference for Genk in the end. Then we've got Royal Antwerp and Club Brugge making up the top 4. So they'll be playing each other for the championship round in the Belgium League. Near the bottom, we've got the relegators, which is Zulte, Sirijn and Ostende, who all have been relegated now. These teams are all safe, they've got nothing else to play for, and of course Ghent, Standard Liège and Westglou and Cercle Bruges will all have the qualifying rounds of the European competitions to play as well. So there's still some utility for these teams here, guys, over the next few weeks. So it'd be interesting to see who does gain the official championship title there, guys, after they've played these games. And it's sad to see these teams go, especially Zulte. Wow, I did have a couple of players for them. I did have the goalie as well at the start of the season, but I've swiftly got rid of him. But I have still got one of their defenders. I can't remember his name now, but he's currently injured anyway. So hopefully he can get away, move away. But yeah, overall, Genk were the strongest of the pile. 23 won, 6 draws, 5 losses, 78 goals and 37 conceded. So that was the end of this video, this scouting video, guys. I will be doing these regularly now on all the leagues covered on Sorare. I'll be picking out between 5 to 10 players on these scouting videos going forward. So if you do like this content and you do want to see more of this, do smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you again on the next video.